Hello guys, welcome back. My name's Nathan and today I'm going to be discussing 5 Taylor Hall trades that could actually happen this season. Now the Taylor Hall rumor floodgates have opened. We saw Pierre LeBrun saying that the New Jersey Devils are officially listening on offers to Taylor Hall between now and this year's NHL trade deadline. So which teams could be in the running for Hall? What trades could we potentially see? And which team will end up trading for Taylor Hall this season? Watch till the end for all my opinions, trades, and predictions. Now wasting zero time, getting into the first Taylor Hall trade that could actually happen this season, we're now going to go to the possibility, or a pretty big possibility, of him ending up with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, for the Habs, if Taylor Hall does end up going there, I'm not exactly 100% convinced that he'll end up staying. They do have a lot of cap space, yes, and I do like that possibility. But I think Montreal is a lot more convinced on re-signing a guy like Max Domi than even going after a guy like Taylor Hall. Let's say they're in still a playoff position by the end of it. I could see a rental Taylor Hall possibly for Montreal, but I don't see him staying there long term, and I don't think they'll have the cap long term either. And with Taylor Hall not re-signing in this situation, that means that his value does go down. If he were to re-sign, it would be a lot more of a haul for New Jersey, so that's why I think it might not be the most realistic opportunity. But in this scenario, with Taylor Hall going to Montreal and not re-signing there, of course, the Habs would get Taylor Hall, and to the New Jersey Devils, I would see a 2020 first-round pick, Artturi Lehkonen, solid depth forward, and great defensive prospect in Josh Brook. I think this is a trade that, if the Montreal Canadiens are in a playoff spot by the trade deadline, could be good for both teams, but I don't think Montreal is going to want to give up that easily. A 2020 first-round pick is super valuable in this draft, looking to be one of the best drafts of all time. Artturi Lehkonen, who's a solid player, and then Josh Brook, who's looking to be a big part of that defense going forward. But for New Jersey, they'll want a big haul, and a guy like Josh Brook on that defense is something that they'll want to have. And you'll see throughout the rest of the trades in this video that I think New Jersey is going to be hell-bent on getting at least one first-round pick. Elliot Freeman said on the headline show in Sportsnet that they'll want to go for at least 1 or even 2 first-round picks in a potential Taylor Hall trade. Obviously, it does depend on the amount on if he resigns or not, but in this situation, he doesn't. I think they get a first-round pick, a solid forward, and a great defensive prospect. If they get him re-signed, it's a lot more, but in this current situation, I think that's about the best they get. Now going into the second Taylor Hall trade that could actually happen, and we go to a destination that I will be really psyched to actually see happen, his return to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the Oilers don't have much cap space, but in this scenario, I see them somehow, some way, able to re-sign him on a long-term deal. Now, this deal would have to be 50% retained for New Jersey. He has 1 year left on that deal, so it's not that big of a deal. So they would have 50% retained. And for the Edmonton Oilers, of course, they would get Taylor Hall with that salary retained. And back to the New Jersey Devils, I see Brandon Manning, Jujhar Khaira, a 2020 first rounder, Philip Broberg, and a 2021 second rounder, a conditional one, that if he does re-sign, would become a 2021 first. And obviously in this trade, the value goes way down if he doesn't end up re-signing, and they don't get as much. But I think if he does end up re-signing, this is a solid haul for the New Jersey Devils, and one the Edmonton Oilers might just bite on. Brandon Manning's pretty much a cap dump. Jujhar Khaira is a solid depth forward, yes, but Edmonton doesn't need him, essentially. A 2020 first rounder, which I think is essential in a trade like this. Philip Broberg, who of course was a top 10 pick last year. I'm not too high on him, obviously, some of you guys know that, but he has a lot of value to his name. And that 2021 second, which if he becomes a first rounder, then if he re-signs. So I think for New Jersey, that would be about as ideal as you could get. You get solid depth, you get 2 first-round picks potentially, and a very solid defensive prospect. If I'm New Jersey, I'm taking that any day of the week. Now we're going to move on to the other side of the pond from New Jersey onto New York. And no, not the New York Rangers, but the third trade that I could see actually happening for Taylor Hall is him going to the New York Islanders. Now, we had 4 teams pretty much confirmed to be after Taylor Hall, and there's not a 5th one that's directly there after Taylor Hall, but if I had to bet on any sneaky team going and getting him, the New York Islanders would be my pick. Now, for the Islanders, I think he would re-sign there. The Islanders have quite a bit of cap, and I think it would make it work, right? I think, honestly, the Islanders were so close to Panarin last year that they want to get a superstar winger, and if he does re-sign, that would be huge for that offense. And just alone, that fit. New Jersey, I don't think would want to trade him to the Metropolitan Division. I think that's the only problem with this trade scenario, but besides that, I think it might be a perfect fit. Now, once again, in this scenario, Taylor Hall does re-sign, but going back to the New Jersey Devils is a 2020 first rounder, a 2020 fourth round pick, Casey Cizikas, and the big piece, that being Noah Dobson. I think New York would definitely not want to get rid of Noah Dobson, but in a scenario where Taylor Hall does end up re-signing, I'm not sure if New York could really give up anything else at this point. Noah Dobson is the big defensive piece, one of the better prospects, especially when it comes to value in the NHL right now. And a team like New Jersey would definitely love to have that on their team. I think when it comes to this possible trade, maybe it's just a first rounder, Cizikas and Noah Dobson, but even if it's just that, New Jersey gets a first round pick, they get a solid depth player in Cizikas, and a guy in Noah Dobson who could potentially just be nasty with a guy like Ty Smith in the future. I think that would be a great trade for New Jersey, and for the Islanders, a team that at points throughout the season and even last season has had a lot of trouble scoring goals, that could be a huge add for them. And just imagining Hall with Matthew Barzal, I'm not an Islanders fan, but that makes even me excited. But again, there is that issue on divisions. If New Jersey doesn't want to trade within the division, then the New York Islanders are just out automatically. But I think if New Jersey is able to forgive that, go straight for the rebuild, they could get a guy like Noah Dobson, a 2020 first round pick. I don't think that's out of the question, and I think the Islanders would be willing to give that up. Lou Lamoriello is sometimes a crazy man. He can do crazy trades. We saw that in New Jersey and Toronto. And for the Islanders, if he does end up trading for Taylor Hall, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, going on to my fourth Taylor Hall trade that could actually happen this season. We're now going to go on to the St. Louis Blues and the possibility of them getting Hall. Now, in this trade scenario, I see him staying and re-signing with St. Louis. One, I think Taylor Hall would love to be there. And two, I think St. Louis would love to have him as a core part of that team going forward. And I know I'm wearing New Jersey gear, but as a Dallas Stars fan, if the St. Louis freaking Blues get Taylor Hall, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I don't know. I might just die in a puddle somewhere for depression. It really would be that bad. Please, please, St. Louis, please do not do this to me. Alright, anyways, going on to the St. Louis Blues, and I think they're a team that has a lot of great pieces that New Jersey could really love to have. Now again, in this situation, Taylor Hall does re-sign. Due to St. Louis's cap, New Jersey would retain 50% of the one-year contract. Again, not that big of a deal. But going back to the New Jersey Devils, I see Zach Fizamper going back, Carl Gunnarsson, a 2020 first rounder, Klim Kostin, and goalie prospect Joel Hofer. Now, or Joel Hofer, never mind, not Hofer. What am I freaking talking about? Anyways, for the New Jersey Devils, I think this will be a solid deal. Maybe not the best package out of the ones I've listed so far, but a pretty realistic option too. For St. Louis trying to go back-to-back, adding a big new scoring option, I think New Jersey would try to get the most. I think the essentials in this trade is a 2020 first round pick, or either Klim Kostin or Jordan Kyrou. To me, I think St. Louis, I think would a lot more give Jordan Kyrou right now than a guy like Klim Kostin. But I think New Jersey is going to have to demand a guy like that. And for pretty much for cap reasons, you have Samford and Gunnarsson going back. They'll be depth guys for New Jersey, nothing too major. But you also have Joel Hofer, who's been amazing in the WHL this season. Could be in the World Juniors for Team Canada this year too. He could be a guy that, alongside Mackenzie Blackwood, could be pretty good for the goalie tandem going in the future, and could set New Jersey's goaltending too. Now going to my last and final Taylor Hall trade that could actually happen. Now going into my opinion, the most likely destination for him, that being the Colorado Avalanche. Now the Colorado Avalanche needs some more scoring in departments, and they have the cap space to re-sign him. So it's pretty much a perfect fit, right? Well, I would agree with that, to be honest. Honestly, I think that the Colorado Avalanche are almost the perfect fit for Taylor Hall at this point. They have the prospects, they have the cap space, and just imagining Taylor Hall with Nathan MacKinnon is just scary, again, as a Dallas Stars fan. But, I mean, it's better than St. Louis in my opinion either way. But going to the Colorado Avalanche, They won't have to retain any salary there either, and that is also a nice bonus. But contrary to belief, and even my opinions in the past, I really don't think Colorado will give up a guy like Bowen Byram. I don't see that happening. I don't see Colorado even budging in that department. And while New Jersey would definitely pressure them in that, I think they'll go for some other amazing prospects that they have in the Avs pool right now. Now, going back to the New Jersey Devils in this Avs deal, I see a 2020 first round pick, a 2021 first round pick, Alex Newhook, and defenseman Ryan Graves. Now, this is, I think, maybe besides the Edmonton trade, might be the most realistic if he does end up re-signing. And again, I don't think Bowen Byram will be there. I don't think New Jersey is going to get a 2020 first and Bowen Byram. I just don't see Colorado giving that up, but I don't see any other team giving up that value either. But you get 2 first-round picks for this year and the next. Alex Newhook, who's an excellent forward prospect, and a guy in Ryan Graves who's a young defenseman who could be a solid part in New Jersey in the future and in the present. I think this is the trade that will, again, help both teams. A team like Colorado doesn't exactly need star power because they already got a ton of it, but adding a guy like Taylor Hall would definitely boost their cup chances. And they wouldn't have to give up too much. Graves is the only player, of course, on that roster right now, and while he's a decent defenseman, it won't be a huge loss. Adding a guy like Taylor Hall, though, will be a big add for Colorado. And yes, I think the Colorado Avalanche are the most likely destination for him, but all the other teams that I mentioned in this video could all realistically end up getting Taylor Hall. The Islanders, the Blues, the Canadiens, the Oilers, they will likely all be in on him by the trade deadline. And there'll be a lot more teams too. A team I didn't mention but was definitely close to being in this video was the Calgary Flames, a team that I could totally see being in on Taylor Hall. It might not be a Johnny Gaudreau for Taylor Hall situation, but it could be a situation where they might be in a playoff spot by the end of the year and they end up going for him. But there will be tons of teams with interest no matter what. Whether they're in a playoff position or in the playoffs, almost every single team in the NHL wants Taylor Hall besides the New Jersey Devils right now. But of course, with my 5 Taylor Hall trades that could actually happen, I need to hear y'all's thoughts down those comments down below. So let me know what you think about the Taylor Hall trade market. What trades do you see ending up happening? And where do you see Taylor Hall ending up in a trade this season? But if y'all want some more Grav videos just like this one, y'all should click on this card right here and that video where I discuss the New Jersey Devils and why they need to trade Taylor Hall right now. And trust me, it's a pretty good one. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on my 5 trades and what trade you see ending up happening. Share this video with your friends, get the word out there, get the 5 trades out there, boys. It's because Grav Gang is almost at 10K subscribers. Let's get her done, because I'm Nathan, and I'll see y'all in the next video or stream. Goodbye.